Welcome back to Father to Six. I am the General. Yes, sir. Back again. And I want to talk about stepping up in parenthood. Stepping up in parenthood. Going to the next level. And when I think about going to the next level, I think about elevation. Elevation. To elevate, to go higher, right? And what am I saying like stepping up in parenthood? I don't know which area of life you in your parenting journey, It could be, the first very stages. You see the birth, the thing that tell you you're pregnant, you know what I mean? And you got the double lines, or you got the cross, whatever it is. And you could be at that very moment right there. Maybe the moment before that where you're like, I feel something different up in here. It's cooking. You know what I mean? Or you could be, so much more further out where your kids is out the house, you're an empty nester, you know what I mean? Or maybe you just in between, somewhere in between there, you know what I mean? So, stepping up in parenthood, going to the next level, elevation. And when I say elevation, I mean like the act of like rising above your current situations, pushing beyond your limits, and reaching new heights in your personal and your parenthood journey. It's about setting your sights high, like looking high. And that goes with having goals, setting your sights high, working hard. And going back to setting your sights high, do you have any goals in parenting? As a parent, do you have goals? Because in your profession, you have goals, right? Your personal life, you got goals. You have goals as a parent. Comment below. Working hard, hardworking parent. Think about yourself working hard at work, or is there something that you ever worked hard at? You see what I'm saying? Do you work hard at that when it comes to parenting and stepping up? Never giving up on your dreams, and I just talked about that. What's your vision? What's your dreams on parenting? And I don't want you to think like, oh, that's too much. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that. I guess being a parent, you want your hopes and dreams for your kids. It's like you want them to be the best, But at the same time, there's a fine line in wanting them to be the best and guiding them to be who they supposed to be, not who you want them to be. Let's get back to it. It's about being resilient, persistent, consistent, and striving to be the best version of yourself as a parent. But being your best version of yourself is you, the parent. Elevation is about breaking free from the shackles of mediocrity and reaching new heights in your life. The little averages, this average, it's alright, you know what I mean? Going past the average, the mediocre. It's about overcoming obstacles and reaching new levels of success. New levels of success. Not saying that your success from the past is null and void or don't count, but okay, are we going to reach new levels in this thing that we call parenting? You see what I'm saying? Not just for yourself, but those around you, your kids, maybe your spouse, maybe your partner, maybe your co-parent. You know what I mean? Elevation is about taking control of your life. And I say your life, I'm talking about your parenting life. The life of your kids, striving for greatness and living up to your fullest potential. Stepping up in parenthood. Stepping up as a parent, a guardian, a caretaker. It involves actively and consistently taking on the responsibilities and commitments of being a parent. This includes providing emotional and financial support for the child, as well as being actively involved in their upbringing and development. Stepping up as a parent also involves being a positive role model and setting good examples for the child or children and being there for them in the time of need. It may also involve making sacrifices and putting the needs of the child ahead of your own. Ultimately, stepping up as a parent involves being a committed, responsible, and caring parent who's dedicated to the well-being of their child. Okay? Let's break this down, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot. You know what I mean? A lot. Rewind. Listen to me say it again, so I don't have to say it again right now, okay? All right, so stepping up as a parent, man. You know, when I first came to the realization of stepping up as a parent, I was a teenage dad, man. Yeah, I was about 16 when my daughter was born, and you know, I had an ultimatum, a choice, man. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? And then the two options that was in my mind was do it or not do it. Well, not do it wasn't an option. So just do it. You know, that's the only option. Just do it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. You know, and I think that the first step when it comes to stepping up as a parent in parenthood, and when I say parent, I'm using that word as a guardian, caretaker, caregiver, whoever you are, the person that's taking care of the child, okay, is making a decision. Making a decision like, you know what, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this. So that's the first thing I did was make the decision. I'm going to do this. I'm going to step up as a parent, as a father. And I was 16, but at 16, what can I do? I got a job. You know what I mean? I focused on finishing school because I was still a high school student. So those are my two main priorities at the moment was, okay, finishing high school, have a job so I could provide, you know? And I did. I started off wiping tables. Moved up to become a manager at a fast food restaurant. Shout out to McDonald's. You know what I mean? Yeah. So stepping up as a parent and a guardian, a caretaker. There's no guide, instruction manual. There's no perfect way of doing this, but you know, there are suggestions. So I'm gonna just tell you what worked for me. All right. So we're gonna break this down real quick, and not real quick. We're gonna break this down, and we're gonna talk about it. You know what I mean? We're gonna chop it up. So what are the responsibilities? What are some of the responsibilities and commitments of being a parent? Providing emotional and financial support for the child. Emotional support. What's emotional support? Emotional support refers to providing for a child with a sense of security, acceptance, and understanding, which allows them to feel safe and valued. This can help children to develop self-esteem, emotional resilience, and the ability to cope with life's changes. Financial support refers to providing the child with the resources they need to meet their basic needs such as food, clothing, shelter, as well as ensuring that they have access to healthcare, education, and extracurricular activities, you know, as needed, you know. Let's go back to the emotional support part, man. You know, emotional support. And I said that, you know, that provides children with a sense of security, acceptance, and understanding. You know, how do you make them feel secure emotionally? You know, accepted, understanding. You know, which all makes them feel safe and valued. How you make your child feel valuable? You know what I mean? And each child is different, so each strategy may be different too. You know what I mean? To meet the needs of the child. So, you know, a couple things I do, in a sense of security, is back them up. You know what I mean? How you back them up with their ideas, thoughts, feelings. You know what I mean? Listen, active listening. Active listening. Active listening is giving your child the attention, full attention that they need. You're listening to them. You're hearing them. You're asking questions. You're engaging. You know, you're having a conversation. You know, and mostly you're listening. Listening, not listening on your phone. You know what I mean? And just hearing what they're saying. You know what I mean? Not cutting them off. You know what I mean? Not telling them they're wrong all the time. You know, and you know what? You could tell them they're wrong all the time, but it's about how you tell someone they're wrong. You know what I mean? You know that sounds good right there. You know, however, you know, this is some of the things I think about when I'm, you know, thinking about this situation. You know what I mean? Have you thought about this or have you thought about that? Okay, you know, that's a good idea. You know, even though that the whole plan, structured all the way, but you know what? I commend you for even thinking about ways of getting ahead. You know what I mean? I like that idea. Let's go ahead and let's add some seasoning to it, because in our family, we add seasoning to it and it tastes great. You know what I mean? You got to put that touch on there. You know what I mean? So let me put a little touch on there, what you told me, and that's what I'm saying about being involved and active with your child to give them that sense of security. You know what I mean? Don't shoot them down all the time. Allow them to create ideas. My homeboy, he always says this, manufacture things for them. You know what I mean? Manufacture things for them. You know what I mean? Which means create things for them. Situations, circumstances. I do that a lot with my kids. You know what I mean? Just create situations for them to see how they're going to react. And then let's talk about, that. So what you mean by creating situations? Hey, you got dinner tonight. All right? I taught you how to cook. Go ahead and make it happen. You know what I mean? And see how they do. See if they ask questions. See if they apply what you taught them. Give them different tasks to do. Without your assistance. You know what I mean? Let them know, like, hey, I'm not gonna say nothing to you about your homework this week. But you still looking as a parent. I'm not telling you don't look. But I'm not gonna say nothing to you about your schoolwork and homework this week. We're gonna see how that goes. All right, give you a bit of independence, but you can come to me at any time if you need assistance or help. All right, where we at? Being actively involved in their upbringing and development. That goes hand in hand with the emotional support. I'm gonna jump to the financial support. A lot of times, people think that financial support is a one-all and that's it. As long as I'm giving that money, we good. You know what I mean? And it's not true. Financial support plays a part in raising a child, because child gotta eat, they need clothes, they need a place to live. A lot of kids want to do sports and different extra curricular activities. So, as a parent, if you're not doing your part financially, ask yourself, am I holding my child back? And I'm not talking about those who doing their best and they can't afford it. I'm talking about those who ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Being a positive role model. A positive role model. What's a role model? When I think about a role model, I'm thinking about, first of all, a model. You know what I mean? Everybody, especially the guys, you know what a model is. Someone who looks good in the clothes. They're the mannequin of the clothes, or the mannequin of the attire they're wearing or displaying, right? They're showing it off. That model looks pristine with that particular attire on, or jewelry, or whatever they're showcasing. So when it comes to a role model, the role of a father, the role of a positive person, are you modeling that? Are you showcasing that of a father, of a parent, of a mother, of a grandparent, of someone that is being looked up to? Are you wearing that with pride? Are you got to walk with it? You know what I mean? You got to talk, you got to twirl with it. You know how the models do. Are you that towards the child when it comes to being a positive example of what a man or woman should be, or a human being should be? You see what I'm saying? A positive person, a person who's not just taking, but also gives in balance. Come on now. Are you that? And you know what? Being a role model is not being perfect. Being a role model is being your authentic self and doing your best to be better every day. I'm just trying to be better. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to do my best. Develop yourself every day. What have I learned? And applying that to your life. And let me tell you something. That radiates outside of you. It radiates outside of you, especially to the kids and people that's around you and watching. Yo, I see my dad growing. I see my mom growing. And they may not say that, those words per se, but they feeling it. And they doing it. You know what I mean? Being there for them in a time of need. That's self-explanatory. But then again, you have to know your child to know when they're in need. And I'm not saying that if you don't know when your kid is in need, you don't know them. Nah, because, kids hide stuff. You see what I'm saying? But are you vigilant as a parent? Are you vigilant? Because a lot of times they don't know what they need all the time. That's why you there. You know what I mean? But you as the parent, the guardian, the leader, are you there in their time of need? The need that they know they need, and in times when they don't know they need it. Another thing, making sacrifices, stepping up in parenthood, making sacrifices, and I talked about sacrifices at the dinner table the other day, and I was telling the kids this. Listen, sacrifice is giving up something valuable for something even more valuable. Giving something up valuable in hopes of getting something more valuable. Okay? And I put in hopes there. I'm going to just throw that in there. All right? Comment below if you got a different definition. All right? And I said this, like, for instance, what's valuable to you? You know kids nowadays, you know what I mean? What's valuable? That phone valuable, right? That game valuable. So giving that up for something more valuable in hopes of more valuable, something else more valuable. You know what I mean? So being a parent, sometimes I gotta give up my free time. I gotta give up a couple of extra dollars instead of giving me them new boots, shoes, that shirt, that necklace, that chain, whatever. You know what I mean? Sometimes I gotta not go to work. You know what I mean? To be at home with my child. Not hang out with the friends to be at home with my child. You know what I mean? I can't hang out extra because I gotta be at home, with the child, with my kids. So sacrifices, many different types of sacrifices. But just know that you will be sacrificing, when you're leveling up and stepping up as a parent. Sacrifice will be creeping up and you be paying dues to sacrifice. It's sacrifice here. Putting the needs of the child ahead of your own, and that's part of sacrificing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm putting my child ahead of me, their needs before my needs. My needs is not first, their needs are first. And I'm talking about, the children that can't do for themselves. And you know what? Sometimes it's more than that. You know what I mean? As a parent, parenthood don't just end when the kids graduate high school, they graduate college. You still a parent to it, but you play a different role. As they elevate, you elevate. Come on. As they elevate, you elevate. So the goal is to get them to elevate, and not elevate faster than they're supposed to, but on time. Stepping up in parenthood involves committed, responsible, and a caring parent. Woo! Committed. What's committed mean? It means that I am in agreement to something, and the agreement is I will not stop. I will not quit. I will keep going. Commitment, bottom line, easy definition right there. Responsible. What we talking about? I'm accountable. I'm answering to this. Anything that has to do with this, I am the front man. I'm the POC, the point of contact when it comes to this. That's responsibility. I don't shift the buck. I don't blame somebody else. I don't blame the kid. You know what I mean? Or the kids. I answer. I pay the bill when it comes to whatever goes on with this. I'm liable. Okay? And caring. Caring means that I want the best outcome for this. I have emotional attachment to. And my emotional attachment is for the betterment. So that's the kind of parent that the child needs when it comes up to stepping up in parenthood. That's what it means to step up in parenthood, is to be committed, responsible, and caring. Last but not least, a caring parent is one who is dedicated to the well-being of the child. Dedicated. We used to say that a lot of times in the Marine Corps. Dedicated. I'm motivated. So what's dedicated mean? Dedicated means devoted. Whew. When I'm saying I'm dedicated to the well-being, I am devoted to the well-being of the child. I'm loyal. I'm faithful. I'm committed. Steadfast. Enthusiastic. You know what I mean? I said loyal and faithful, but I'm just going to throw it out there again. Loyal and faithful. True to the cause. True to the game. When I say the game, I'm talking about parenthood. It's not a game, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's what dedication is. Enduring. Because I ain't giving up. Comment below. Stepping up to a parent. You know what I mean? Being responsible. We talked about that. Actively and consistently taking on the responsibilities and commitments of a parent. This includes providing emotional and financial support. I said that already. Being involved, okay, in the child's upbringing. Includes their education also. You know, extracurricular activities, you know, as you see, and social development. Social development, how they developing socially. Are you teaching them how to speak to people? You know what I mean? How to be polite, how not to be rude, how to stand up for your boundaries, stand up for yourself, how to be professional. You know what I mean? How to turn the professionalism off when you need to. You know what I mean? To get your point across and then turn it back on. Code switching. You know what I mean? Talk to me. Positive role model. One who sets good examples by just being a positive person. Exhibiting healthy behaviors. That's it right there. Exhibiting healthy behaviors. To include attitudes. And teaching your child how to handle difficult emotions the healthy way. Let me rewind that. Teaching your child how to handle difficult emotions in a healthy way. A healthy way. Not your way that you do it with the healthy way. And if your way is not the healthy way, I might be on a journey together. You know what I mean? But teaching them how to do it on a healthy way. Being supportive. You know, being there for your time, for your child in the time of need. Providing emotional support and understanding. Listening to and validating their feelings. And providing reassurance and guidance. Reassurance and guidance, but guidance the most to me. Depends on, this, but guidance. Are you guiding them? And one thing I tell myself, and I tell my kids this all the time too, like I'm here to guide you, prepare you to be on your own, right? This is training for what's to come in life. And this training, anybody who ever been through training of any type before, they don't cover every single instinct or every single scenario in training, right? They don't cover that in training. They cover the basics and things that may come up and, and how to, So when you're in training right now, you're going through all these years of training. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 years of training. Me as the trainer, as the parent, what am I putting into them? Am I really preparing them and giving them the best guidance, instruction, advice? Something to think about. Sacrifice, being a sacrificing, being willing to sacrifice and put the needs of your child ahead of your own. This may mean putting your child's needs before your career, your social life, or other personal pursuits. Come on now. I'm not only talking to moms, but I'm talking to dads too. Right? I'm talking to the guardians. I'm talking to those who said they will raise this child. They will raise this child. So sacrificing means putting the needs of your child. And what kind of needs? We're talking about putting your career before your child. Are you willing to put your career before your child? Like, I need to pay bills. You know what I mean? We got bills to pay. Okay. The question still stands. Are you willing to put your career before your child, or your child before your career? Sacrifices. Your social life. Are you willing to put your social life before your child, or your child before your social life? Which one will be sacrificed? Other personal pursuits. Yo, I'm trying to go to, you know what I mean, DR. You know what I mean? Go to DR. Got that DR money, you know what I mean? I'm just leaving I'm gonna leave such and such over there. Your personal pursuits. You know, and yeah, that's fun. You know, but you like, I can give up a trip for my kid. Okay. What about when you're in college? And this is just a lot. You see what I'm saying? And I know I tell you push through, but sometimes you gotta make a choice sometimes. I gotta take a semester off. You know what I mean? I might have to take a year off. You know what I mean? Because of my child needs me more. So, are you willing to sacrifice your personal pursuits? Or sacrifice the needs of your child? Last but not least, I know I didn't say this, okay? But to wrap it all up, let's wrap it up with self-care. Self-care. Remember to take care of yourself, okay? And I know I talked about sacrificing, yeah, commitment and all that stuff. Yeah, I did. But we gotta fit in self-care, because if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of the little ones? How much ever you got, you know what I mean? But back to self-care. Like, how you going, if you're not taking care of yourself and making time for yourself? I'm not talking about putting them to the side for you. No, we gotta balance it in. Balance it in. What can I do to take care of me so I can keep going and giving to them? Because I'm not 100%. I can't give them 100. And I don't want to get it twisted. No, it's gonna be times when you're not at 100% all the time. It's gonna be a lot of times you ain't 100. You know what I mean? But are you giving your all to it? And if you can't give your all to it because you on empty, let's not get on empty. Because how many of you ran out of gas before in your car? You know what I mean? Even with insurance, it take them a minute to get back. You know, one of your phone ever die, or any of your electronics that run on batteries die. It take a minute for it to come back up. And yeah, it might be a quick minute, but dang, what's a quick minute when it comes to self-care and recovery of self? It might be a day, it might be a week, it might be a month, it might be a year for recovery. So let's not get to the gutter where we're running on fumes. We don't have to. Shout out to those parents who run on fumes every day. They ain't got no choice but to fume it. I'm on fumes right now. I gotta get it. I gotta go. Shout out to them. Ultimately, this is not a one-on be-all guide to stepping up as a parent. This is just some things that I wanted to talk about that I went through. I thought about. I'm like, yo, this could help the family, the collective. By following these guidelines here, you can step up as a parent and provide your child with the love, support, and guidance they need to thrive. Thrive in the areas of life that they need to be thriving in. Remember that being a parent is challenging. However, it's rewarding. And that every effort you make to be the greatest parent you can be, they will appreciate it. They will appreciate it. Being a parent, sometimes you don't get the applause and the pat on the back. You know what I mean? The good game. You did this at the beginning. Through the journey. When you want it. You don't get it sometimes. Sometimes you do. You know what I mean? I feel good. Yeah, that's for showing this off. But don't be doing these things for a pat on the back. Don't shove this in your kid face. I've been doing this for you. I'm not talking about not sharing your journey with your kids. I'm not talking about don't share your journey with your kids. But I'm talking about parents when you be throwing that in their face. All I do for you, I did this, that, and every time. You know what I mean. And there's a fine line between letting your kids know what you sacrifice and what you do for them, and then like using that as a weapon. Beat you down with it. You know what I mean? You know. And if you don't know, come back to Father to 6. We're going to talk about that. All right. Father to 6, I am the general. Thank you for viewing. Check me out at fatherto6.com. Fatherto6.com. More exclusive content. Patreon.com/FT6. As always, family, I believe you with love, light, life. Always.